Hi there. In this video, I want to just talk about one of my favorite restorative back bends, which is supported fish. I really like this one because it's super simple to set up. It just requires 2 blocks. And it's also a really great way to compensate, to find some physical therapy, if I could say that, for sitting all day. When we sit all day, or even if we're standing looking at our iPhones, we tend to round forward, our shoulders come forward, and our head comes forward. And so this pose is really nice because it allows us to open up our chest and to lean our head back in space, open up our throat a bit. So as you'll see, I have 2 blocks here, like I mentioned. They're both on their lowest height, and they are parallel to one another. So there's one towards the very top of my mat here. That's where my head will go. And then one about 8 inches below it, and that's where my upper back will go. To get into it, all you need to do is sit down in front of the blocks like so, and lower yourself down until the very bottom edge of your shoulder blades catches the bottom edge of the first block. And then you might scooch your shoulder blades together a little bit on your back to help broaden your chest. And gently lay the back of your head down on the second block. You might need to move the blocks around a little bit once you get there. And then I usually just take a moment to wiggle around and find a really comfy spot to be. Once you get into the pose, I find it's really nice to just take deep breaths into my belly, into my solar plexus, which is the area just below your sternum, and into my upper chest. And then I like to stay here for at least a minute or 2, but you can stay here for 5-10 minutes even if it's not tweaky on your back. But maybe just a couple minutes if your first time doing this pose. Then when you go to come up out of it, you can place your feet flat on the floor, bending your knees. Kind of scooch over onto one side, prop yourself up onto one elbow, and make your way back up to a seat. From here, a really nice counter pose after spending a couple minutes in supported fish is just to do a child's pose if that feels comfortable on your knees. So after the supported fish, it's nice just to take a child's pose and take deep breaths down into your low back. Just as a nice cozy counter pose. And if all you're doing is a quick restorative practice, then the counter pose doesn't need to be nearly as long as the back bend itself. So I hope that helps you know how to set up supported fish for your own restorative practice. Take care.